My background started as a camera operator. I really wasn't doing that much lighting, but I was always involved with it some amount. I wasn't a main lighting guy, but I was more of a camera guy. As my career developed and I became more of the lighting guy on our crew, and I guess that's kind of how I more or less got into lighting and doing more and more lighting. True Grip and Lighting started as a dream of three friends. We started this in my garage.
Wait a second, this man.
All right, I'm gone.
True Grip and Lighting started as a dream of three friends. We all worked in television. We started this company in my garage. It was I was a cameraman, had successful careers as with ESPN doing NASCAR. The two other guys were really more of the grip and lighting guys. After about a year, we decided one of the guys wanted out, and the other two, me and one other guy, bought his share. About a year after that, I bought the remaining partner's share, and it became all mine. We started off just with a small 16-foot box truck, a 3-ton grip package. We pretty much back then didn't have enough equipment really to even fill up a truck. So we would put all of our equipment just in the truck, spread it around to look like we had more than we did, just to make it work. As the company grew, I hired my first employee, and we moved it out of my garage into a building. We were there probably, I guess, about 2 years, and the company kept growing and growing. And we added more employees, more equipment, and just started to become successful with it with our clients. Having a lot of clients. ESPN has always been one of our biggest clients. They were probably our first client and is still today one of our biggest clients. Years into it, we got into golf carts, we got into jib cameras, stuff like that. It started to grow, that we did several different things. It all wasn't just grip and lighting for television commercials and films. We later got into entertainment lighting and started doing everything from churches to we got into doing boxing. We were doing top rank boxing, doing very big shows there. Sideline camera carts is another thing that we do here at True Grip and Lighting. It's very different from grip and lighting, but it's something that we've found to be something that we can do very well. We have 28 of these carts stationed in strategically placed in different cities around the country. We went from the first year doing these to doing about 60 ball games a year to this past year we did 350 games. We've got into golf carts. We have close to 150 golf carts. We do NASCAR, we do NHRA drag racing, and various other events throughout the year with that. So you can see we're very diversified from where we started in my garage to now we're in a big warehouse and doing a lot of different things. On the grip and lighting end of it, with ESPN, who I've said is one of our biggest clients, we've got to a point now we're doing Super Bowls, we're doing big events for them, their desk type shows, and we've really found a niche in doing that, and they seem to be real happy with us, and it's something that we do well.
Hi, my name is Jeff Humphrey. I'm a professional lighting director. I guess I'm going to tell you how I kind of got started in the business. I used to be a photographer in the Air Force, and I started doing some stuff on the side, some pictures, and I hired a guy who done some TV work, some utility work, and he called me one day, wanted a day off, and when I asked him why, he said he had to go to a NASCAR race, and next thing you know, I'm going to a NASCAR race with this guy to get him off. And anyhow, he let me have. He got me on, and they paid me $250 a day, $250 a day. I got just to go and stand on the sideline like for football. 108,000 people singing Rocky Top. And you only sing Rocky Top, they say, good old Rocky Top. And they'll go, woo, at the same time. It's like, And I just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I thought, man, this is the business I got to get in. I thought taking pictures was fun, but I like television. So I met some people. The guy who got me on doing this, and he, anyhow, long story short, is he called me one day and asked me if I could light a stage for television. I'm thinking, well, how hard can that be? I mean, I've done pictures, and I've done group pictures, and so how hard could it be? Well, next thing you know, they were hiring me as the lighting director for Speed Channel. You want to know what getting caught with your pants down is, man, that was tough, because all of a sudden I'm learning on as I went along, because I didn't know, all I knew about lighting the stage, I didn't know about all the other things about television, about sun and all the things, so a lot of times it was a lot of trial and error. But anyhow, I was the lighting director for Speed Channel, you know, and that turned out really good, and next thing you know, I'm getting out there, and I'm working for a company called True Grip and Lighting, and Corky Corkman, who's the one who hired me, and you know, he's done all these things for me. As a matter of fact, I've seen the better part of the United States through Corky Corkman. We have business everywhere. We have golf carts, he has camera carts, but the thing I like the most is the lighting. I like big shows. I get to go on. I've been to the Rose Bowl 4 times. I'm at the Final Four today, believe it or not. This look you're looking at is from the Final Four here in Dallas, Texas, that a buddy of mine, John Saw, and I lit. And this is one of these cool things. But I've done the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I was one of the lighting directors at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And then last year I got to be a lighting director, or a lighting assist director at the Super Bowl in New York for the NFL Network. But television, man, I tell you what, it's just one of the funnest things I've ever done. I always wanted to be an athlete, and because I have no athletic talent at all in me, I decided that I would, the next best thing is watching the game from the sideline and to get paid for it. So the guy I hired, by the way, was David Gowie. I hired him to do some work for me. He's the one that got me in television. I have to give him that credit. Well, I'm glad I hired him because of this, I was able to get this job and make this happen. And here I am. I'm the lighting director of this. Well, this isn't one of our biggest shows. I mean, we do big shows. This is kind of small, but it's on a big stage and it's fun. And I just want to tell my story and want everybody to know how Jeff Humphrey became a lighting director. And so I guess I have 3 people to thank. I want to thank God. I want to thank my buddy David Gowie for actually introducing me to television. And I got to thank Corky for giving me a job and giving me a chance. So here I am. Thanks a lot. See everybody.
My name's Scott Scholler, and I am one of the lighting directors and grip manager here at True Grip and Lighting. Oh, how did I get started? I got started in this business, almost 15 years ago. Started out kind of fresh out of high school, and I was looking for some work. I had a friend of mine who had an aunt who was a producer and happened to pick up some summer work at a rental house, a lighting rental house. And so I started out, it was summertime, it was kind of the downtime. This is in Miami, Florida, so it's a little hot in the summer, not everybody's shooting, and it was kind of downtime, a lot of scrubbing, a lot of cleaning, so picked up a job scrubbing stands, and one thing led to another, and just got more and more interest in the equipment and where it was going and the kinds of shoots that it was doing. At that time, most of the work that I had done was, there was a lot of feature work, so feature films, there was a lot of commercial work, definitely a lot of music videos. So kind of seeing that, a little starstruck at times, but was always real interested by just the process and what all went into a production. Just so happened I had the insight on, lighting, so I just took that and ran with it. First job I went on, let's see, you need some backstory to this one. I actually, I had spent a lot of time in the shop. I mean, back then it was one of those things where you had to put in the time. You had to work in the shop and spend so much time and learn so much about equipment to kind of build up, enough knowledge to be able to go out and actually perform on the job. So I had worked and worked and worked. I got my CDL. I was thinking, all right, I can drive this grip truck. That's my way in. I'm getting in on the job. First job I show up to, I showed up with no tools.
What, have these lighting guys messed me up back there, the sound? What?
No, it's...
They don't know any difference, do they? They just see the red light.
It's always like that.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Randy Reed, and I'm a television lighting designer, director, and theatrical lighting director. I've been in the lighting business for 40-something years, and I started when I was 19. And I really got my television start right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And the man's name that's on the school that you are attending is Ross Bagwell, and he's the one that gave me my start. I went to work for Ross in 1981. Didn't know anything about television lighting, but he assured me that he had some people that did. Come to find out, he was wrong. He didn't. So we all learned together on. And my first television show was a situation comedy with 6 cameras on it. So it was a real awakening for me. I'd been a lighting director for some of the largest southern rock bands in the country at that time, the Marshall Tucker Band, and had been out with the Allman Brothers and Molly Hatchet and some bands like that. And but I was getting a little too old for the road and thought the television would be the place to be. So I hooked up with Ross, and if you know the history between of Cinetel Productions, Bagwell Communications, then you have a pretty good idea of where I came from. At one time, Cinetel Production was the largest independent television production company in the country, which meant that we made more television shows for more networks than anybody in the business in this country. And that was our claim to fame for a while. And so I worked for Ross for about 10 years, maybe a little longer than 10 years, and then HGTV came along and bought Cinetel, and when they bought Cinetel, they bought me with it. And so from there, I went to work for Scripps Networks, which is Scripps Networks Interactive now, and I was the manager of their lighting department. Started out with HGTV, and then we bought the Food Network, and then I became the manager of that also for the lighting end of it, and we started another network called DIY, Do It Yourself. And we started another network after that, it was called Fine Living, which is now the Cooking Channel. We eventually bought Shop at Home, and then we eventually bought a network called Great American Country. So I had a great opportunity and a lot of work to do to keep the lighting up in those networks. I stayed there for about 15, 16 years. So I left Scripps Productions Interactive, and then I went to the Christian Broadcasting Network and stayed there for a few years. And then I came back to Knoxville to work with my good friend Corky, who owns True Grip and Lighting. He was gracious enough to give me a job so I could get back to Knoxville. I've known Corky for over 30 years. He used to be a cameraman, freelance cameraman that would work for Cinetel, for Ross actually, and I would do his lighting, and my partner and I, Lane Childs, would do the lighting, and Corky would do the shooting, and we worked side by side for many years. Matter of fact, we worked on a show called Side by Side, and so that's how I know Corky. And like I said, he was very kind enough to let me come home and give me a position, and so now I'm the operations manager for True Grip and Lighting.